Today, or this month actually, I tried shooting like Anthony Gugliotta, with just 2 lenses. And I don't feel comfortable anymore, because in his video he showed something that beginner photographers would never do. So let me explain. Most photographers salute the 24-70 f2.8 as the most versatile lens because, sure enough, it covers most of the zoom range you need for basic photography. But this lens is not in Anthony's Gugliotta bag at all.
90% of the time, I bring just 2 camera lenses with me. The first is the one that you're looking through right now, which is the wide-angle 15-35. The other is this guy, which is a telephoto 70-200.
In his tiny travel camera bag. He does use it for weddings and stuff, but still. And sure enough, sometimes he throws in a 50mm f1.2 or some other prime lens, but this is his go-to travel photography package. And there are 2 things I love about this, and 2 things why I'm not switching to this 2-lens combo. But I do have a better solution. I began with creating this kit for as cheap as possible, but not too cheap to lose quality. These 2 guys are not worth it. I tried them. Trust me. If you want to shoot like Anthony, here's my poor man's but best for the buck options. Instead of Canon R5, I have a Canon RP, the cheapest full-frame mirrorless camera from Canon. A Sigma 17-35mm f2.8-4. 2nd gen. Don't buy the 1st gen, please. It was terrible, unsharp, and basically unusable for video because it was loud. And the Tamron 70-300 f4-f5.6. Has to be stabilized. If you have an APS-C camera and you're looking for this Gugliotta combo for cheap, I recommend the Canon 10-18 4.5-5.6 stabilized lens and the 55-250 f4-5.6 stabilized lens. For telephoto, it is almost a must to have a stabilized barrel. So here is my experience with this Gugliottism. I shot just a couple of things with the 17-35, including a live stream and a vlog, but it was not as much fun as I expected. The lens is very heavy and bulky for vlogging, which, on the other hand, with the wide angle, is a pretty good wow effect for shooting real estate. And while having the 16-35 f2.8 would be a happier job and better picture quality, it still seems too heavy for handheld work. I will tell you in a bit what I bought instead. Because for wide angle you do have a lot of options, but for telephoto there are not that many. You have the 70-200 f2.8, which compared to 70-300 is just a little less zoom and more light. And while the 70-300 f4-5.6 is really dark, and I had to shoot at 1600 ISO even in bright daylight, it was not my biggest problem. My biggest problem was to keep things in frame at 70mm. I need to go wider. I like the social interactions with people. And I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do that even if I had the 70-200. On the other hand, the tight end of 300mm is really fun. And probably really handy for shooting birds on APS-C. But from my analytics, the average was 120mm, so I think I would be fine with the 70-200. But still it wouldn't solve my problem of the wide angle. There's people talking and walking. Oh my god, there's so many people. Help. So would a 24-70mm fix it? For me, I still need to go tighter than 70mm, so no. But the 35-150 from Tamron would. I just need to find a good price on it. So the conclusion, I really do feel weird not having a 24-70 on hand. But I don't miss it. If I had to build this combo from scratch, here is my cheaper alternative to all of this. So the Canon 16-35 f2.8 is pretty heavy for vlogging. How about the Canon RF 60mm prime, which has a 0 less on the end, and while it's 16 at no stabilization, it is also 18mm on the small stabilization and 22mm on the big stabilization, and also a 30-60mm on 4K crop. Doesn't that solve the problem? As a prime lens, it is sharper, cheaper, and most importantly smaller and lighter for traveling and vlogging. When I shoot events and weddings, I rarely need to go wider than 35mm. So the 35-150 would actually suffice for me, but it really depends on what kind of work you do. I really admire Anthony for his energy and education style. There's a boat drifting right behind me. But if you had to build a new lens kit yourself, what would you put in there? Let me know in the comments below. Check out this video, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.